You cannot control what happens around you, but you can always control how you meet it. Epictetus knew this, and so do you, even if you have forgotten it. There are mornings when you wake up already tired, before the day has even asked anything of you. Outside, the world moves fast, loud, impatient, carrying people along without pause. You stand in front of the mirror and see a face you know well but do not fully recognize anymore. Someone who once had plans. Someone who believed time was on his side. Someone who promised himself things he never quite followed through on. In the quiet of your home, surrounded by small messes and unfinished thoughts, the same question appears again. Where am I really going? No one prepares you for that moment. People talk about winning, about success, about pushing forward, but they rarely talk about the fatigue, the loneliness, the feeling of drifting. Stoicism does not offer escape from that feeling. It offers a way through it. It teaches that your life is shaped not by dramatic change, but by small decisions repeated daily. Discipline is not talent. Awareness is not luck. They are built. If you do not want to step into 2026 as the same person with new excuses, this is where you begin. Not with promises, but with habits. Habit 1. Begin your morning before the world takes it from you. There is a quiet window just before the day starts asking things from you. No messages, no demands, no noise. In that space, you get a rare choice. You decide who you are before everything else tries to decide for you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning that his duty was simple: to live as a human being should. Not rushed, not reactive, not scattered. That sounds small until you realize how quickly the day pulls you away from yourself. This habit starts with something almost ordinary: making your bed. Not because it impresses anyone, not because it changes your life overnight, but because it is a small act of order in a world that often feels out of control. You straighten the sheets, you smooth the pillow, you finish something. In that moment, you are not behind. You are not chasing. You are choosing. You send yourself a quiet message. I can act. I can create order. I'm not powerless. When the rest of the day gets loud, this small act stays with you. It becomes the first proof that you can lead your life instead of reacting to it. If you want a different 2026, this is where it begins. Not with noise. With a calm, steady start you repeat every morning. Habit 2. Build control through simple order. Control rarely arrives in big moments. It is built quietly through small things done well. When life feels heavy, the mind looks for something solid to hold on to. This habit gives you that anchor. You take what is right in front of you and you put it in order. A made bed, a clear desk, a room that feels calm instead of crowded. Seneca warned that much of our suffering lives in our imagination. Simple order pulls you back into the present. You finish a task. You close a loop. You remind yourself that not everything is chaos. No one needs to see this. That is why it matters. It is not a performance. It is a private agreement between you and your discipline. Each time you choose order, you strengthen trust in yourself. Over days and weeks, that trust spreads. You start finishing harder things. You stop feeling so scattered. Control does not come from fixing your whole life at once. It grows from handling what is right in front of you, calmly and consistently. Habit 3. Do one hard thing before the day gets comfortable. Every morning begins with a quiet negotiation. Your mind looks for ease, delay, something softer to start with. That instinct is human, but the Stoics taught that growth lives on the other side of that first resistance. Epictetus said difficulties reveal who you are. This habit is simple. Each morning, choose one thing that feels slightly uncomfortable and do it first. It does not need to be dramatic. A short workout, a cold splash of water, opening the task you have been avoiding, sitting still when your mind wants distraction. What matters is not the size of the effort, but the choice. When you do something hard by intention, you take control back from comfort. You prove to yourself that fear does not decide your actions. The rest of the day feels different after that. Lighter, cleaner. You move with more confidence because you already faced resistance and did not break. Over time, this habit reshapes how you see yourself. You stop asking if you are capable. You know you are because you practice it every morning. Habit 4. Protect your first hour like it matters, because it does. There is a fragile calm in the first moments after you wake up. A brief pause before the world reaches for you. Most people give that hour away without noticing. A phone lights up. News, messages, other people's urgency floods in. And before the day has even begun, your mind is already tense and scattered. Marcus Aurelius warned that peace comes from focusing only on what is within your control. The first hour is where that practice begins. When you protect it, you keep your inner world intact. You choose not to react. You choose to respond. Read a few pages. Write a few honest lines. Sit quietly. Breathe. Move slowly. This is not about productivity. It is about sovereignty. When you guard your first hour, the rest of the day does not own you as easily. You move through it with steadier thoughts and calmer decisions. If you want a different 2026, stop letting the world enter your mind before you have even entered the day yourself. Habit 5. Move your body to create momentum. There are mornings when your mind feels heavy before the day has even started. You sit still, hoping clarity will arrive on its own. It rarely does. The Stoics understood that action comes before motivation, not after it. When the body moves, the mind follows. This habit does not ask for intensity. It asks for movement, a walk, stretching. A few minutes of effort that tells your system you are awake and engaged. Aristotle spoke of the unity between body and mind, and you feel it the moment you begin to move. Breath deepens, thoughts loosen, energy returns. Movement breaks the spell of inertia. It reminds you that you are not stuck even when life feels that way. When you start your day by moving your body, you build momentum that carries into everything else. You think clearer. You act sooner. You stop waiting for the right mood and start creating it. Habit 6. Treat water like fuel, not an afterthought. Most days you run on caffeine, tension, and momentum. You ignore the simplest need your body has. Then you wonder why your patience is thin and your focus slips. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that you are body, breath, and mind. Neglect one and the others pay the price. Drinking water is not about health trends. It is about respect. You pause. You drink slowly. You pay attention. In that moment, you choose care over neglect, clarity over rush. This habit is quiet, but it adds up. Better energy, steadier moods, fewer crashes. When you start meeting your basic needs on purpose, you send a clear signal to yourself. I'm worth taking care of. That signal carries into how you think, how you act, and how you face the day. Habit 7. Keep your space clean to steady your mind. There is a quiet connection between the space you live in and the thoughts you carry. You feel it when you walk into a room that is cluttered, unfinished, neglected. Even if you do not consciously think about it, something in you tightens. The mind becomes restless. Focus slips. Small irritations grow louder. The Stoics understood that the environment shapes the inner state. When disorder surrounds you, disorder seeps inward. This habit is not about perfection or appearance. It is about respect. Respect for your time, your energy, and the life you are living. When you take a moment to clear a surface, to fold a blanket, to put something back where it belongs, you are doing more than cleaning. You are restoring order in a world that often feels chaotic. You are reminding yourself that you are not helpless, that you can care for what is within your reach. Over time, this practice changes how you move through life. You stop tolerating unnecessary mess both around you and within you. Your mind becomes calmer. Decisions feel lighter. There is less friction in your day. A clean space does not solve your problems, but it gives your thoughts room to breathe. It becomes a quiet foundation where discipline can grow. When you care for your environment daily, even in small ways, you reinforce a powerful truth. I am worth order. I am worth care. And that belief changes how you carry yourself everywhere else. Habit 8. Read or learn a little every day, even when you think you have no time. Most people do not feel stuck because life is hard. They feel stuck because their mind has stopped growing. Days begin to repeat. Thoughts circle the same worries. The same reactions appear again and again. The Stoics believed this was dangerous. A stagnant mind becomes reactive, emotional, and easily shaken. Growth is what keeps the inner world alive. This habit does not demand hours or intensity. It asks for consistency. 10 minutes of reading. 10 minutes of learning something that stretches you just enough to wake your mind up. Cleanthes, one of the early Stoics, worked long days carrying water, yet he still studied philosophy by lamplight at night. Not because it was easy, but because it mattered. When you read or learn daily, you slowly change how you see the world. Problems that once felt overwhelming start to feel manageable. Emotions lose some of their grip because you have better language for them. You begin to notice patterns in yourself and in others. The mistake most people make is waiting for the perfect moment. A free hour, a quiet weekend. That moment rarely comes. Growth happens when you choose to learn even on busy days, especially on busy days. Over weeks and months, those small sessions compound. You think clearer. You react less. You feel less lost. This habit is not about becoming impressive. It is about staying mentally alive. If you want a different 2026, you cannot keep feeding your mind the same inputs and expect new outcomes. 10 minutes a day is enough to change the direction of your thinking and eventually the direction of your life. Habit 9. Keep one promise to yourself every day, no matter how small. Most people think self-respect is something you feel. The Stoics knew it is something you build, and it is built through follow-through, quietly, privately. Every time you tell yourself you will do something and then you do not, something small erodes inside you. You might not notice it at first, but over time it adds up. You stop trusting your own word. You hesitate more. You doubt yourself. This habit is how you reverse that damage. You choose one promise each day and you keep it. It does not need to be impressive. Drink a glass of water. Go for a short walk. Read a few pages. Stop scrolling at a certain time. What matters is not the task. It is the act of honoring your word. The Stoics believed integrity begins inward, long before it shows outward. When you keep promises to yourself, you send a powerful message. I can rely on me. That trust changes how you stand, how you speak, how you decide. Over time, confidence stops being something you chase. It becomes something you carry. One kept promise may feel small, but repeated daily, it becomes the backbone of discipline. And discipline is what makes a different year possible. Habit 10. Reflect on 3 quiet wins before the day ends. Most days finish with a familiar feeling. Tired, slightly dissatisfied. Your mind replays what went wrong, what you did not finish, what you should have handled better. The Stoics knew this habit of thinking well. Marcus Aurelius ended his days by reviewing himself, not to judge, but to stay honest. This habit asks you to pause before sleep and look again at the day you almost dismissed. Not for perfection, for effort. 3 small wins. Maybe you stayed calm when you usually would not. Maybe you followed through on something you wanted to avoid. Maybe you simply showed up when it would have been easier to withdraw. These things count even if no one saw them, especially if no one saw them. When you reflect this way, you train your mind to notice progress instead of only failure. You balance self-criticism with truth. Over time, this habit changes how you see yourself. You stop believing the story that nothing is changing. You see evidence that you are moving forward even on hard days. This reflection is not about ego. It is about grounding. It reminds you that growth is happening quietly beneath the surface. When you carry that awareness into sleep, you rest better. And when you wake up, you move with more steadiness. A different year is built one day at a time, and this habit helps you see that it is already underway. You do not change your life by waiting for a new year to save you. You change it by how you live ordinary days when no one is watching. Stoicism was never about sudden breakthroughs or dramatic moments. It was about training yourself quietly through habits that shape how you think, how you act, and how you respond to life. These 10 habits are not heavy. They are simple. But when practiced daily, they create something rare. Calm in chaos, direction in confusion, strength without noise. If you begin now, before 2026 arrives, you will not step into the new year hoping to be different. You will already be different. Not perfect, not finished, but steadier, clearer, and more in control of yourself than before. That is real progress. And it is built one choice at a time. Stay stoic and build your stoic legacy.